All right. Well, welcome, ladies, to Marketing with Ease and Authenticity. We've got a great number of group ladies are actually already on the webinar. I know more folks are calling in as well. And like I shared with the folks, thanks for bearing with me with a little interesting technical glitch. But we are all set. And we're going to be talking about marketing with ease and authenticity. And those of you who are in the chat function that can actually help each other in the chat function, I know the majority of you are able to hear. I see a couple that can't. So if you guys can actually help each other out there, that would be perfect. And we're just going to go ahead and move on. Now, I know that a number of you know who I am. You know who I am, and you know my business, Six Figure Success Habits. But I know that some of you have never met me before. You've never heard about me before. So just really, real quick, who is Claire? Who is Claire Lussman? And just real quickly, I have actually, from my corporate experience, I have 15-plus years in corporate training and corporate coaching. I've always worked in human resources, worked for large pharmaceutical companies and did their training and their coaching. And I actually got my master's degree also in training down here in North Carolina at NC State. And I also was a sales director with Mary Kay. So I had a whole unit of women and did their weekly training meetings. And I took all of that experience, that technical experience, and I coupled it with a couple of life experiences that ended up being a blessing in disguise, and which may sound weird, but about 7 years ago I had been diagnosed with advanced breast cancer. My son was just a couple of months old, so it was about a year and a half to 2 years of a very interesting life experience of a mastectomy and tons of chemotherapy and radiation. But a life experience like that truly can be seen as a gift. I mean, it really got me thinking, and got me thinking about what is it that I want to do. You know, what is it? Like, what do I believe my purpose is? And gosh, life is short. And what I realized is that a desire grew deep in my heart to really grow into the wife and the mom and the woman that I want to be. So that life experience really was one of the biggest blessings. And what it's actually done now is, like I said, it's fueled this fire. I want to help other women and moms out there who want to do the same exact thing, who want to do the same thing, who want to be there for their children. And for me, for example, when I was working my 9-to-5 job, we relied very, 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 very heavily on my income. My husband's a teacher. I love that he's a teacher. I want him to be a teacher forever and ever and ever. But the reality is that for me to be able to stay at home, I need a significant income. And I know that there's other women that are like that as well, right? That it's not just a couple, extra $100 or extra $1,000 or $2 that's going to allow you to be able to stay at home and to be your own boss. So I know that I'm not the only one in this boat, and I truly, truly want to help these other women. And I know that when I was working my 9-to-5 job, that nights were just a rush. It was just such a rush. You get home at 6 o'clock, and, you're rushing to cook dinner and homework time, and it was just a whirlwind. And I was legitimately wishing my weeks away for the weekend. And that's not the way that I want to live. That is not the way that I want to live. So, again, I am so super passionate about helping any other women business owners out there who can relate. And what I love to do, like my differentiating factor, is I know that it's overwhelming, ladies, right? I mean, there's so much information out there about how to grow a business, and there's so much to it. There's so much about marketing and about managing your time and about managing your money, and should be on online social media, and gosh, it could be overwhelming. So what I love to do, and really take my training and coaching experience from the past, is to simplify it for you. The entire A through Z of running a business, to truly simplify it for you. And I really focus more on the habits, replacing our unproductive habits with new six-figure success habits, because it's really all about that, right? I mean, it's about our habits. It's about the way that we're running our business day in and day out. And so many of us have these unproductive habits that are tripping us up, absolutely tripping us up. So we really get more at the habit level, and these are generally very simple principles to learn. They're generally very simple disciplines to do in our business. They're simple to do, but they're also easy not to do, right? So many of us choose not to do them. And that's where I want to show us by simplifying us that we can all of us can gain these six-figure success habits. And I also love to breathe belief into each and every one of you. Each and every one of you. I believe, especially, you're on this call, you have a seed of desire to grow your business that's been planted deep in your heart for a reason. For a reason. And I do believe that with discipline and faith and persistence, you can absolutely do it. Absolutely. So that's what I'm all about, breathing belief into you. My clients like to say that I give them a whole bunch of grace. I say, don't beat yourself up. We got to get it done, right? While also giving a friendly kick in the skirt. So the reason I created this webinar was because I was hearing from so many of the ladies in my community that they're struggling. So if you can relate, you're definitely in the right place. If you can relate at all to this picture over here on the right-hand side, where you might be having a hard time finding new clients, and you're just not seeing the financial results that you want and that you need in your business, and you're just feeling overwhelmed. You're like, I don't even know where to start. How do I market? How do I get my name out there? How do I get this steady stream of ideal clients? So that's what we're going to be talking about today, and these are the 4 points that I had on the webinar page that you signed up for. So we're going to be talking all about this. We're going to be talking about what's been sabotaging you from getting more and more clients. We're going to talk about how to get more clients by actually doing less. We're going to talk about a variety of different marketing strategies, and I want you to be thinking about which ones fit your personality. And then I also want to give you an example of a very simple but incredibly powerful marketing plan. I want to show you on paper what a marketing plan could look like. So we're going to dive on in. So first of all, what's been sabotaging you? If you're like 95% of the businesswomen out there, what's been sabotaging you is that you've been getting very sidetracked, right? You can look at this little picture here. We've got so many different ways of how we can market our business. Should you be on Facebook? Should you be on Google+? Should you be at this live networking event? Should you have a blog? Should you have a YouTube channel, right? We've got so many marketing strategies at our disposal, which is such a blessing. But the challenge is let me go ahead and put out the phone piece. I think someone was just looking for the little icon. But the challenge is that we also have so many ways to market our business, right? So it's a blessing and it's also a challenge. And so we've been getting very, very sidetracked. So if you can relate, say, Avid, or I've been getting sidetracked. Go ahead in the chat function and let me know if you've been getting a little sidetracked. Another thing in this day and age is that if we're honest with ourselves, we're looking for the magic bullet, right? We want, what's that magic strategy that I'm going to, instantly get all this flood of new clients? Like, we want the magic bullet. And we're looking for answers to answers to answers because we're just trying to find that nugget, that magic nugget that's going to help, open up the floodgates to more and more clients. And believing that there's overnight success. All of these really do go hand in hand. Absolutely. I see in the chat function the bright, shiny things, bright, shiny object syndrome. This is what's been sabotaging us. And believing there's overnight success. And I know there's so much hype out there on the internet, so much hype. Do this and you'll get, 1,000 new clients tomorrow. But we're letting this sabotage us because we're moving on too soon. We're moving on to the next new strategy before we fully maximize our current strategy. And if you can relate, I wish I could have found a picture with a lady, a businesswoman, but we're spending so much of our time pushing up a rock, a proverbial rock, up this hill when we're talking about our marketing efforts. Like, okay, so-and-so said I should have a blog, so I work on getting a website, and I work on the blog, and I, put a blog or two, and then I get sidetracked, right, and my blog goes dormant. Or so-and-so said I should be having a Facebook page, so you get your business Facebook page up and running, and you work on your graphics, but you post willy-nilly, not very consistently. And then I'm supposed to be on Google+. So we're moving on before you can imagine you're pushing this rock up the hill, which is a lot of work at first, right, getting these things up and running, before you get the gift of it going down the other side, before you get the gift of it going, wee! You're not benefiting from the gift of momentum when we go from thing to thing to thing. So that's what's happening. And I don't want to be the one to burst your bubble, but I want to be the one to burst your bubble. There's no such thing as an overnight success, regardless of the hype that you may hear. Growing our business is just like this picture here. And I love that you guys are chatting. Please keep chatting with each other, asking questions. And I'm praying we're not going to have another technical glitch. But if for some reason you stop hearing my phone piece, let me know, because I'll be able to easily connect to the speakers. So please just let me know. But your business, be thinking about this oak tree. I mean, your business right now, for many of you, could be this acorn. And it doesn't instantly, next month, next year, turn into this oak tree. There is so much that's happening to that acorn under the ground, right? Maybe for a year or so. Consistent work before it pops up this first little, the first little spring, the first little sprout. There was a lot that was happening before you're like, oh my gosh, it's a legit business. People are paying me. Money's coming in. That was a lot of time for you to be focused and disciplined and persistent. But that's what it takes. But I know you may be thinking, but look at her. Look at her business. I want that. I mean, she's come from nowhere. She's been this overnight success. If she can do it, I can do it, right? But if you really were to talk with her, she'd tell you something different. She would tell you differently. I love, I don't know if any of you follow Allie Brown. I love, love, love her. And one of her favorite interviews that I listened to was when she revealed the magic curtain, what was behind that magic curtain, her first 3 to 5 years in business. And she was real and she was honest, and she says it's going to be messy and you're going to feel like you don't know what you're doing and you're going to feel like you want to give up. But she did those things consistently. She did the right things consistently. She would tell you that. The lady we just saw in the picture would tell you that. It was a journey, many years in the making. It took consistency. It took persistence. It took years of doing the same things over and over again. Those consistent small steps. That's exactly what your marketing is about. This is a quick picture, and if you have not read the book, The Slight Edge by Jeff Olson, I'm going to really recommend that you get it. It is fabulous. It is such a great book. But he talks about the difference between those that succeed, the 5%, and those who, the 95% who don't get where they want to be, is that the 5% are willing to do those things consistently, that they were easy to do and they were easy not to do. For example, let's say that you have a customer newsletter, an email newsletter. Or let's say for me, for example, I send out an email every Thursday. I send out an email every Thursday. Now, that is an example of a simple marketing discipline that I just do every Thursday. Now, the thing is, by me starting to do that and sending that out every Thursday, it's not like the floodgates open right away, right, and all these people want to work with me. So I don't experience instant success for doing that consistent discipline. And if I didn't do it a Thursday or two, you know what? I'm not going to experience instant failure either. That's the whole thing. They're easy to do and they're easy not to do. But it's doing it regardless. It's doing it even though it's easy not to. I'm going to be like, well, is anyone really going to miss it? Is anyone really going to miss it? It's those things done consistently that you're going to experience the financial success in your business. Absolutely. And again, the first year or so of you doing these things consistently in your business, yeah, you're going to get more and more success and grow a financially stronger business. But again, it's not instant. So please know that. Another thing with giving up too soon, and I hear this so often from clients, is, well, I'm not going to go back to that networking event. I didn't sell anything at that networking event. And I was like, if you went to that networking event for that quick instant sale, you went in it with the wrong intention. Again, a consistent step would be that you go to 2 live networking meetings every week in and week out, not just when it's convenient, not just when you can fit it into your schedule, or that you hold at least one-on-one a week where you just have a casual conversation with another business owner that's deepening the relationships. That's what it takes, doing week in and week out. Those simple things that are easy to do and easy not to do. Or I hear from some clients, well, I'm not getting any new clients from Facebook. And so I go out to the Facebook page and I say, you're not doing anything. You're not even, you've got a great logo, but you haven't communicated at all. So you did all that work without carrying it through, without the consistent steps. So, for example, making 3 posts daily on Facebook, on your Facebook business page, spending 15 minutes a day on your business page to engage and respond with your fans. It's those things, those simple disciplines done consistently that are going to pay off. So what's been sabotaging you? Again, if you can resonate, if any of this resonates with you, that, yep, I've been getting sidetracked. Yep, I may have been looking for that magic bullet. I know there's that one secret marketing strategy that's going to be, the end-all, be-all for me, and believing there's overnight success. If you can relate to any of that, please go ahead and enter it there in the chat function. But also know, right, that it's about the consistent steps taken over time, that it's about building the relationships, not just making that sale, not just about that transaction. It's about the relationship. And like someone said earlier, it was Dory. So let's just make the commitment that we're going to say no to the next shiny object syndrome. Even though it's enticing, it's tripping us up. So instead, I'm going to actually show you how by doing less, we can have more results. So good. Yep, it looks like it's really resonating with some of you. Yep, we're longing for overnight success, right? We all do, but let's not let it trip us up. All right, so what's been sabotaging you from getting more and more clients? We talked about that. Now, how can we get more clients? By actually doing less. And now some of you truly probably aren't marketing enough, like really. Some of you probably aren't marketing enough, and some of you are working way too hard. You're going to 5 different networking meetings, and then you hold a table at the expo, at the booth, and then you do this, and then you do that. But it's just that we're doing a little bit of everything, and it's especially those folks who are going to be able to do less, get more clients by doing less. And there's a couple of concepts here that I want to walk you through. First of all, in order to get more clients by doing less, I'm going to encourage you, strongly, strongly, strongly encourage you, to get clear on who are you marketing to? Identifying truly an ideal client character. And this trips up so many people, so I'm going to talk about it. And then to make the commitment that you're actually going to start building a relationship with more and more ideal clients. So again, instead of thinking about sales in terms of a transaction and a sale, you're actually thinking in terms of relationships. So talk about that. And then lastly, I want to talk about that not everyone's going to be your ideal client. And the sooner that we could be okay with that and embrace it, the better. All right, so let's say you're a health coach. I don't know if we've got any health coaches on the line, but instead of me feeling like I'm a health coach and I am marketing to anyone with a life, right, anyone with a life who wants to feel better, lose weight. Okay, health coach is here, perfect. No, I could tell you that I did this when I was a Mary Kay sales director. I said, well, anyone with skin, anyone with skin who wants to, look better and feel better. But anyone with skin is hanging out everywhere. How do I know where to market? And my marketing message would be very diluted, right? But what about then as a health coach? Good, we've got a couple of health coaches. What about instead of marketing to anyone with a life, let's say I wanted to focus on brides who want to lose weight for their wedding. And then again, instead of figuring out how do I find more clients, I figure out, okay, where are bride-to-bes? Where are they hanging out, online and offline? And how can I really start tailoring my marketing message directly to brides-to-be? Like the bridal boot camp, or looking sexy in that gown, or whatever it may be. You're really tailoring your marketing message. You're going to speak directly to the heart of your brides. And then again, instead of figuring that you need to be everywhere to market, you're going to figure out where can I connect to brides. Not that you're not going to help anyone with a life who comes to you, but I'm talking about really focusing your limited marketing time, money, and energy. That's what it's about. So you're not limiting who to sell to. Like when I was a Mary Kay sales director, I could sell to anyone with skin, right? Of course. You're just getting clear on where to spend your limited marketing time, your money, and your energy. And you truly, once we can embrace this concept, you can truly increase your marketing effectiveness exponentially. Absolutely 100%. So here's my ideal client. She's overwhelmed Olivia. I don't know if any of you can relate at all, but she so wants to grow this business thing, but it's so overwhelming. Like, what are the very, very next steps to take? So, yep, some of you are relating. Overwhelmed Olivia. I have a person in mind, like an ideal client. And that's what I want you to do as well. So when you listen, you can jot down these questions or you can listen to the webinar recording. But I want you to actually have a person in mind. And the exercise I'm going to walk you through is actually that you are thinking of a particular person. So let's say that right after this webinar you hang up and someone calls you and they're like, hey, I've heard about you. I want to work with you, or I heard about your product, or, I want to sign up for your team. So you're not talking to – the other end of the line is not, a male 40 to 60. I mean, it's a person. It's a particular person. You may know this person or you may not. It may be one of your favorite customers, or it just may be someone, if you had the pick of the litter of who to work with, that's key. All right, so this individual, he or she is going to be a joy to work with. They are looking for a solution. They are at the point where they are looking for a solution, and they're willing to pay for a solution. So they're not going to say, I don't have the money. They're going to get great results. Whatever their unique needs, challenges are, they're going to get great results. They're actually going to be a walking billboard for you. That is your ideal client. And I really want you to take time. So as you're sort of in mindset right after this webinar, I'd love for you to sit down and walk through these 5 things. So it's you actually identify a person. Again, it could be a fictional person or it could be a real person. Because I'm going to ask that you get out of the convincing game. I believe that we don't need to be, doing these major overcoming objections. I have found that if I need to convince someone to be in one of my programs, that individual would actually end up being an unideal client. Like they're just not at the right moment where they're willing to do the work for the change, right? They generally could be a drain, not fun. So let's not be in the convincing game. When you actually identify your ideal client, you'll actually know that there's tons of people like that out there. We just need to figure out where that type of person is hanging out online and offline. So for me, Overwhelmed Olivia is where's Overwhelmed Olivia hanging out? And then just get really clear about your ideal client. So you jot these things down. Rewatch the webinar. So tell me about them. What are their demographics? Is it a guy or a girl? What's their age? Are they local to you? Or they live in another state or another part of the world? And what are they struggling with? Like, how are they feeling? So from Overwhelmed Olivia, I know she's struggling because she feels like she's working her business so hard, but she's not seeing the results. And she's feeling guilty when she's with her family because she's not working. And she's feeling guilty when she's working because she's not with her family. And she just doesn't know if she can find a way to market that does feel natural to her. Like the strategies that she's been hearing from others that are doing it or her upline, they feel a little icky to her. That's my ideal. Again, it could be a fictional character. I see her as a mom. She's in another state. She's got 2 young kids. And then you ask, well, what's brought her to this point that she's looking for this solution now? Why is she ready now for whatever it is that you have to offer, your product or your service? Has she tried other things to solve this problem? If so, what have they done? So for me, for example, maybe she has. Maybe she's done lots of free webinars and teleseminars, but she's at the point now where she's willing to, invest. She's willing to work with someone one-on-one to help get her from point A to point B. And what results could they expect if they do their part? So if you have a skincare line, if they follow the instructions to the T and they use the product, or they do what you ask, or they do what's expected, how can their life be better? So how can Overwhelmed Olivia's life be better? It could be that she feels like she has a legit business, that her financial needs and then some are being met, that she feels like she's able to easily work during the day while her kids are at school. And then she's able to put on her mommy and her wife hat at nights and weekends and just totally unplug. That she's able to see that, oh gosh, I've got some systems in place. My business really feels like it's running like a well-oiled machine. So that's me really getting into the mind of Overwhelmed Olivia. But I'd love to know that about your ideal client and get so super specific, even if it feels like you're pulling answers out of thin air. But also know that identifying your ideal client could be a journey. I mean, it may not be something that instantly you get off this webinar and you're like, oh, I know. It's Tyra Terry or Determined Donna or Bloated Beth. You may not know. It may not come to you like that. And even as your business evolves, it can change. Like I'm at the point right now where I'm getting even more fine-tuned with my ideal client. It used to be I marketed more here in the Raleigh area. Next year, my Overwhelmed Olivia is going to be in another state. I'm going to do more online. And so you can keep evolving. So if it's not clear yet, don't let that stop you. Do not let that stop you. Just start working with people. The more people you work with, the more people you help, the more people you interact, you're going to get clear on this. So don't use it as a reason for us not to get things up and running in our business. Because my Overwhelmed Olivia, she's changed a bit. The specifics of her, I'm just getting clearer and clearer and clearer. And gosh, does it make a difference in running your business? Absolutely. So again, instead of saying, how can I find more leads or customers, I'd be, how do I find more Overwhelmed Olivias? Where is she hanging out? How do I find more bride-to-be Beth, for that example of that health coach? So we also talked about how it's about building relationships and really being relational and not so much transactional. And transactional being, again, the example of the skincare. So let's say I sell someone a moisturizer, and if I'm seeing it just as a transaction, I'm getting money, and then then I'm moving on. Okay, now got to find someone else to sell a moisturizer to, someone else with skin, someone else with skin. I'm always looking for more and more and more people. But instead, if you could start figuring your ideal client, so if my ideal client is Overwhelmed Olivia, and I'm just building relationships with more and more Overwhelmed Olivias in person and online, you can get to the point where the marketing is going to happen almost automatically. Like momentum really begins, and they're spreading the word about you, about your product, about your service, about your organization. Because most businesses really do grow by word of mouth. But it takes us doing some of these consistent marketing things, again, before that momentum begins, right? Remember that visual of him pushing that rock up the hill? Before the rock goes over the other side, before you're like, whee, this is fun. Look at all these people that are coming to me from word of mouth or referrals. But it takes time, right? Building the relationships takes time. But for me, it's fun because, again, you're just being yourself. You are surrounding yourself with your ideal client. Again, it's the pick of the litter. And I really would love for you to think of sales and marketing in terms of the dating process. So, again, my example of Overwhelmed Olivia, be thinking about there's 3 steps to the sales and marketing process. The first piece, like when people are coming into your sales and marketing funnel, they don't even know that you exist. Like some of you never knew Claire Luffman existed maybe a week or so ago before you found out about this webinar. You didn't even know I existed. But by me doing some marketing strategies, me increasing my visibility, you heard about me. Right? So my husband and I, we just celebrated our 10-year anniversary on Friday. So 12 years ago, and he's fabulous, I didn't know he existed, and he didn't know that I existed, right? But we had the opportunity to meet. We increased our visibility. And then you go on to the next phase where there's some way that you're able to invite your ideal client into your space where he or she is able to say, you know what, I'm sort of interested. This is interesting. I'd love to learn more. So what did I do? I provided a free webinar. We had an exchange of information. You gave me your name and email address. And for many of us, our dating relationship is going to start now, right? Where now it's up to me every Thursday to drip on you and to provide you with tips and resources to help you grow your business, to help you go from point A to point B, just to deepen the relationship, right? 80% of the time, I should just be adding pure value, whether it's a free video or a free audio or a training article. But there's going to be times, like 20% of the time, that I'm going to be sharing something about a program, right? Like our upcoming Six-Figure Success Habits program. So 20% of the time I'm going to say, hey, I've got this program going, I've got this, I've got that. But 80% of the time I'm just developing the relationship and helping you get from point A to point B. But in our sales funnel, there's got to be some way where we're actually we're inviting that person to take the next step forward, just like then Eric did 11 years ago, or 10 and a half years ago in Savannah, Georgia on St. Patty's Day. And I was joking with the ladies on Friday that I saw in the group. I was like wondering why he was chugging Guinness at like 10 in the morning. He needed some liquid courage to propose to me. But it's all worked out fabulous. So here, this is high level. And again, when you watch the webinar recording, I'd love for you to really pause on this slide because this is key. we want to see, once we know our ideal client, right, so my very next overwhelmed Olivia, who's out there somewhere in the world who hasn't heard of me yet, if I could figure out an ideal scenario to hold her hand and walk her into my sales and marketing funnel and bring her along every step of the way, how could I do that? Like, how can I have ideal overwhelmed Olivias all in the United States or in the world hear about me? So what are some strategies, which we're going to talk about? And then how can I let that ideal client sample me in some way, what I have to offer, or sample my product? There's going to be some way that he or she can get a taste of what I have to offer in some way, if they're willing to give permission to keep in touch, to exchange that contact information, and to keep in touch, right? In some way that feels natural and authentic for me to ask for the sale, and to have from time to time sense of urgency, a special bonus, a special something. So I'm really going to ask you to watch this webinar again and pause on here, because this is what it's about. And your marketing plan is about how do you ideally, in a way that feels right to you, how could you walk someone through from being at the very top, your ideal client, right, that bloated Beth who's never heard of you, how can you walk her through? So please give me your commitment that you're going to really give that some thought. Because even though so many people say they don't like sales and marketing, they're like, Claire, I didn't get into this business for sales and marketing, right? I love my craft. I love being a therapist or massage therapist. But the truth is, yes, we need to be great at our craft, and yes, we need to be great at sales and marketing. And I am going to challenge you that I believe you can learn to love sales and marketing. When you truly learn to love your ideal client, when you are working with folks who are a joy, like I love my overwhelmed Olivias, and when you can truly say you love helping them solve their problems, that I enjoy developing a relationship with them, that I can talk about solving these problems, like can that health coach who's helping that bride just look fabulous, smashing on her wedding and her honeymoon, and then even growing into her teaching her how to cook healthy meals, for two. Can she talk about solving the problems, the health and wellness problems, to the cows come home? Because that's what you're doing, right? You're solving problems when you can really see yourself as a problem solver versus a seller. And so many times, you were your ideal client at some point. Were you? Like, did you experience something 6 months ago, a year ago, 6 years ago, 10 years ago, that you went from point A to point B, and you want to help other people do the same? A lot of times health coaches do that, right? They had a personal experience, a health challenge or struggle themselves, or they saw how it impacted others. For me, I was an overwhelmed Olivia, right? I so desperately wanted this, and I needed to sort of figure it out for myself, how to put together a legit business. So I was my ideal client at some point. And when that's the case, it's not the case for everyone, right? But for so many, it is. And when we're in that type of business where we love our ideal clients, we love the problems that we're solving, we could talk about solving the problems aside from my product or service. I love a website that I'm going to give you. It's called The Organic Mama, The Organic Mama, MOMMA, .com. Some of you may have heard me share about her, but she does this wonderfully. She actually has 2 direct sales companies, but her business, Organic Mama, Lauren loves her. Her business is that her ideal client are moms who are wanting to remove the toxins in their home, in their diet, in their lifestyle, and start living an organic life. And she shares, she keeps in touch with her emails. She posts almost every hour on her Facebook page. She has a weekly video that she shares with her clients that we can see her, right? She takes us out to her garden, but she's selling products. But her mission, her passion, her purpose is so much more. Do you think when she shares about her products that people are like, tell me, how do I get it? Sign me up. So she loves sales and marketing because, again, she's loving on her ideal client and helping them create an organic home for their family. So you can truly get more clients by doing less when you know who you're marketing to, and you start figuring out how can you hold their hand and build a relationship with them and walk them through that sales and marketing funnel. Another thing is to know and be okay that not everyone's going to be your ideal client, okay? Really, not everyone's going to be your ideal client. Not everyone is an overwhelmed Olivia. Not everyone resonates. I don't resonate with them, and that's okay. So please, for us to know that and truly be okay with that. All right, so what I wanted to do is talk about some different marketing strategies. And when I share this, first of all, I want us to, again, make a commitment that instead of us doing a little bit of everything, we're just going to focus. I encourage my clients to pick 3 core marketing strategies. And I say, wear marketing blinders, right? So if Google Plus is not part of your marketing plan this year, maybe next year. Don't worry about learning it. You've already got enough on your plate. Make the most out of those. Use those strategies to the fullest. And then just keep working on your marketing plan. Once you have those 3 strategies, grow into that marketing plan. Become more expert in that marketing plan. Keep closing the gap. And I'm going to ask you see this pretty little Venn diagram here, that the strategies, I'm going to quickly share some strategies, and I just want you to sort of sit back and listen. And you see which ones, you want what's in the middle here, the brown spot, where you're like, you know what, that fits my personality. I think I can do that. And a strategy that you're like, you know what, I believe I can effectively connect with my ideal client, with that bride-to-be Beth. And you know what, I can commit to doing that consistently. Yep, I really think I can commit to doing a video every single week. So it fits your personality, it connects your ideal client, and you can do it consistently. When you've got strategies that fit those 3 criteria, those are winning strategies. So real quickly on your sheet of paper, just put 4 different columns. Definitely, if I hear a strategy and you're like, oh, I could definitely do that, or that's a possibility, probably not, or no way, Jose, do I ever want to do that? Okay, so I'm sorry, definitely, possibility, probably not, and no way. And think of this. I'm going to encourage you that if any of these strategies that I share feel icky, guess what? Don't do it. If it feels icky, don't do it. Again, you're most likely pretty similar to your ideal client, so you're a good gauge. If it feels icky, not only may it feel icky to them, but you're going to find every reason to procrastinate, right? All right, so just be listening here and see what resonates with you. How can you market your business? Well, you could do live networking. There are so many networking groups that are available. Go to meetup.com, and I bet you there are lots of networking groups that are meeting in your area. Or there's specific leads groups like BNI. You can start your own group. I started my own networking group. Chambers of Commerce. So if you're about, getting out and about, meeting other people, being committed to those networking groups, that could be a great strategy. Or I'm online networking. Maybe you love being on Facebook or Pinterest. Those are great. Or online forums. You can go to Google, and the example here is brides and then the plus sign forum, or a businesswoman plus forum. It'll show you online forums that if you love connecting and interacting and helping people solve problems online, that could be great. Facebook's wonderful, right? There's so many people on social media in particular. 67% of Americans say they're on social media. Of those 67%, 67 of them have a Facebook account. So many, many people are on Facebook. And you can also real quickly, you don't really need to understand these stats, but this is important to know. Not everyone is even on Facebook, right? It shows you that there's a good percentage of people that are on Facebook, but it really comes down to, is your market on social media? And do you enjoy that strategy? All right, so live networking, online networking, referrals. What about, a referral program for your clients? Again, word of mouth, a really superb referral program where you could just love on your clients. Thank you cards, making them feel extra special. That's a marketing strategy. Referral partners, thinking about how you can cross-promote. Some of you may have heard about this webinar because someone else, an associate of mine, put it on their Facebook or Twitter. You can give coupons, right? Maybe the chiropractor can give a coupon to a massage therapist because they work together, referral partners. So referrals. Another thing could be publicity or PR. Do you think that your business is newsworthy? You won an award, or you received a certification, or you launched a new product, or a company anniversary. There's ways to get publicity out there, like That's a free way. There's a great thing called Help a Reporter Out, HARO. It's helpareporterout.com. And you will get 2 emails a day where there are reporters that are looking for quotes. And you may find something in your specialty and being able to be quoted. That's a great strategy. Or how about speaking? Would you love to speak? Live speaking or a networking group or your own talk, putting together your own speaking engagement. Or virtually like we're doing now, a webinar, teleseminar, a podcast. How about that? Speaking, could that be one of your strategies? Or writing. Do you like to write? Blogs, your own blog. Or you could be, I've been a guest blogger, where my blog has been on other blogs. And then I've got my little resource box, so told their readers about me and a link back to my website. Maybe you want to write articles and submit articles. There's free article directories that you see here, easyarticles.com. Maybe you want to write your own book or ebook or self-publish like a Kindle book. So writing, could that be a strategy of yours? Or how about videos? Do you love just getting behind a camera? You could do a Q&A video for your list, right, for your community on your blog. Have them submit questions and answer one question a week. You can do your own TV show, which essentially I have a weekly TV show. It's really just a weekly video, 3 tips in 3 minutes that I just talk about something, your 3 marketing challenges in 3 minutes. So video is such a great marketing strategy. Or how about events? Working a vendor show or trade show. Again, what are you thinking about with these strategies, right? You're thinking about, yeah, that's me. I could so do that. Yeah, I think I can really reach my ideal client. Because you don't want to just work a vendor show if maybe 10% of the people there are going to be your ideal client, right? That health coach, she may want to work at a bridal expo. You can go to tsnn.com. I've got it here, so you'll be able to have it in the recording. And you'll also get linked to the slides. But you can actually, those are telling you trade shows all across the United States for specialties. Like you can go see what bride expos are in your area. Or what about advertising? You want to have an ad, a magazine. Now, of course, direct advertising is getting less and less effective, direct mailing. But then ones that could be super focused, like Facebook ads, is great. When you can say, I only want this to show up on people that are, fit this demographic, and that could be wonderful. So those are just some strategies that I really want. There were things that I know resonated with you, right? That you're like, you know what, I can do it. And see if you can put it in like 3 buckets that make sense. And I'm going to show you an example of what those 3 buckets could be. But again, it's going to be really your gut. What seems to fit your personality, can connect with your ideal client, and you believe you can commit to doing it consistently. Okay, so we've been talking about what's been sabotaging you. We've been talking about how to get more clients by doing less, and that with your marketing strategies, really think about what fits your personality. That's the winning formula. I'm actually going to show you an example of a marketing plan. Real quickly, I talked about how we've got a program upcoming and 6-figure success habits, and this is one of the things that we do in this program is we dive into marketing. It's one of the 10 essential success practices is marketing with ease and authenticity. So we're going to be learning and implementing the 10 essential success practices in the upcoming program. It's actually kicking off October 3rd, and it's called 6-figure success habits. And real quickly, I don't want to go spend much time because I'm going to be sending you the link to this, but we cover the whole kit and caboodle. We're going to talk about how to figure out where the heck you want to be in your business, and are you in the right business, and how to create your business around your lifestyle. And how do you gain that winning mindset? How do you hush up negative Nelly so that you can do what you want to do? And how do you figure out, okay, I want to be there at the end of the year. What should I do, every quarter, every month, every week, every day? How do you plan out your business so you keep closing the gap between where you're at and where you want to be? And we're going to get really clear on your ideal client. Who is it that you want to work with so we can figure out how to find he or she? So you're going to create your marketing plan, get your keep in touch strategies up and running. We're going to talk about how to build your business while maintaining your sanity, like how to get more done in less time, how to calendar block, how to create your ideal schedule, how to figure out what your money tree is. So you're watering your money tree. You're spending your time on your highest priority items. We're going to talk about how to stay on top of your commitments. We dive into David Allen's Getting Things Done philosophy. How do you manage this constant influx of to-dos that's coming at us through our email and phone and just creative ideas? And we're also going to talk about how to be a good money manager, how to get those financial systems up and running in your business. And then lastly, when you have this all in place, how do you figure out how you can streamline and outsource and automate so you can truly have a business that is running like a well-oiled machine? So that's the curriculum, and the way that it works is every single month you get the new month's curriculum, which is broken down to many little mile markers, 70-plus mile markers. It's a quick little training video and an exercise. This is all about implementation. This isn't a learning program. This is an implementation program. And then the one that's starting in October, there's going to be 12 hour-long group webinars every other week. We're going to dive deep into the content, see what questions you have. We're also you're going to have access to 12 30-minute one-on-one phone coaching calls. So you and I are going to talk 2 times a month. And then we have a private Facebook group where you can really get to know each other, share questions and challenges, and encourage each other. And then when you graduate, this is a 6-month program, so when you graduate, then you get 6 months free in the Business Makeover Academy. It's only a private Facebook group for other prior graduates where it's just a great place to refine and to continue to implement and practice the success habits. And the program itself is only $897 when paid in full for the entire 6 months, or you could pay per month of $197 a month. But for this next week, a little less than a week really, by September 15th, you're going to be able to save $200. It's only $697 and paid in full, or $167 a month for 6 months. And we've got 3 awesome bonuses that are also going to expire September 15th. One is where I'm seeing so many women business owners get tripped up is actually implementing what they know they should be doing, like getting their newsletter up and running, or getting their opt-in box up and running, or their social media profile up and running. So you're going to be getting 5 free hours of marketing implementation support. So support is $200 value, where Simona is fabulous, and she's going to do that work for you, 5 hours, which is beyond fabulous. You're also going to get a 90-minute business strategy session with me, an hour and a half. We're going to kick it off at the very beginning of October to really springboard your success. And then you're also going to get a free 90-minute Profiting with Facebook webinar. So, again, I'll send all that information to you. I just want to let you know since the bonuses are ending on September 15th. But I did want to go ahead and make sure that I showed you the last bullet here, which is the marketing plan. And it all comes down to your marketing plan. Now, also to remember, it's all about simplicity, really. Those of you who have been doing way too much, a little bit of everything, which is just tiring and draining, and you don't see your results, it's about simplicity. Focus on 3 core strategies that feel authentic. And it's going to be about consistency, not this hit or miss stuff. Okay? And at first it's about getting good and consistent with these strategies, and then continuing to gain mastery. So I always encourage folks, don't worry about the Facebook ad if you're not yet posting consistently on your Facebook page. Why do you want all these likes? What are they going to see? They're not going to see anything. So get good and consistent. Maybe you're going to make 2 posts a day, Monday through Sunday. Get good and consistent, and then you just keep getting better and better and better. That's what it's about, ladies. So here's an example. And this is, and I'm going to you're going to have a link to this full draft marketing plan as well. And this is a draft marketing plan that is pretty similar to mine. So you've got 3 strategies, right? So for me, let's say for a business coach, let's say my first strategy is live networking, which it is. So with each strategy, I'm going to encourage you to have about 3 tactics. As a guideline, you can have 2, you can have 4. The reason I say about 3 is if live networking is going to be one of my core strategies, I want to really fully do it, right? So 1 group is not going to be enough. It's not going to give me enough traction. I also don't want to be part of 8 groups because that's not going to give me enough time to really get to know the people in that group. Like, it's not going to be effective. There's too much. Less is more. So for me, my example of my 3 marketing tactics is it's a women's networking group that I lead. We meet twice a month. I'm also part of Coffee and Contacts, where it's a weekly networking group. And then I didn't even put a 3rd group here. But I'm going to be committed to attending the extra groups, the extra events of this group, like the wine event and the coffee event. And the most important section of this strategy is the next one, these ongoing marketing action items, where you say, well, so what? I'm part of these groups, but so what? What is it that I'm going to do intentionally to what? To build relationships, to be visible, for me to meet more people, for them to meet me, for me to move people through my sales and marketing funnel, for me to love on my current clients, right? That's what it's about. So these things may seem very simple, and generally, again, they are, right? Remember the visual of Jeff Olson's The Slight Edge, but it's about doing these things consistently that pays off. So it could just be that, you know what, I'm making a commitment. I'm going to attend 90% of the meetings, not just when I feel like it. I'm going to have at least one one-on-one meeting with another business owner. How about I send a handwritten card after each one-on-one? How about I send a glad you were able to come email to every guest, even if I'm not the leader of that group? These are just examples. How about if I present my signature talk? Maybe my signature talk is the 10 Essential Success Practices of the In-Home Businesswoman. If I present to at least one networking group a month. How about I come at least 15 minutes early to each meeting just to casually network? You may be thinking, what? But I'm being intentional, right? I'm not just going to run on in that networking meeting. That could just be an example of how you're utilizing this strategy to the fullest, how you're doing more with less. Maybe it's just I'm making a personal commitment that I'm going to do business or refer at least one other business owner every single month. Maybe I'm going to identify at least one possible joint venture relationship a month. Not formally, but maybe I'm just looking for what other things overwhelmed Olivia's needs. Accountants, bookkeepers, web designers, virtual assistants, and I'm just going to be intentional about it. That's an example of a fabulous strategy. Doing those things consistently will pay off. What about another strategy? Now, first know that this one is online networking, so Facebook, Twitter, and Pinterest. And actually, I have Facebook, Twitter, and Pinterest listed in my strategy, in my marketing plan, and I'm actually not up and running fully. So know that your marketing plan, this is one part that I'm fully in on Facebook. And Twitter is linked to my Facebook, but I'm not on Pinterest yet. But I sort of put it as a placeholder, knowing that this is what I'm going to grow into. So know that, again, you don't need to have everything up and running on your marketing plan tomorrow, but create your strategy and grow into your strategy. Okay, so what am I going to do consistently? Well, I'm going to average 3 updates a day, 3 posts on my business page Monday through Sunday. That could be an ongoing marketing activity, or once a day, or 3 times a day, or 5 times a day. The experts say 2 to 5 times a day, depending on your ideal client. I'm going to personally respond to fans' comments and check my Facebook business page at least once a day. About 15 minutes, let me go on in there, engage, right, be social. How about I'm going to communicate at least 2 to 4 no obligations a month where I'm getting them off of Facebook and bringing them to my website, my opt-in. Like, for example, hey, we got this free webinar, bringing people off of Facebook and into an opt-in page. So, yes, I'm going to give an example, actually, of this networking. This plan will be in a nice little Word document that you can see. There was just a question about being able to see this. How about supporting TLC friends at least every other day, where there are some other folks who are building a business page, and we've made a commitment that we're going to check each other's pages every couple of days to make a comment to help increase their engagement. That could be an ongoing marketing action item. Another thing I do is I go out and support my clients, like my personal clients, their comments at least every other day, whether it's their personal or their business. And you may be thinking, that's not marketing. Well, yeah, I'm deepening a relationship. I'm loving on my current clients. I'm getting to know them more. I'm taking an active interest, not to sell, but to build a relationship. So absolutely. And then I do have some ads. So I run a page-like ad just once a month. This is really where my marketing budget goes into, is Facebook. So about $20 a month. And I run a page post ad, meaning, again, what some of you saw was it was a post that was on my business page, but then I put it in as an ad. So you saw the video. It said, I've got this webinar, sign up. So that could be maybe $100 a month. That could be an example of a marketing action item. Your numbers may be $20. But again, you're just doing something consistently. Okay, the last tactic here, as we're right at 2:30, is increasing my expert status. So those are my 3 buckets that made sense. I shared the different strategies, right? They made sense to me. They felt natural. Networking in person, networking online, and increasing my expert status through articles, speaking, and training videos. So this gives you an example. Offer at least 1 free webinar a month for list building. Presto, that's what I'm doing today. Tie it into a Facebook ad. Publish at least 1 to 2 articles a month to an online directory like easyarticles.com. Publish a weekly blog post and then share that on Facebook. Do it. Publish a weekly podcast interview that I do. I interview another expert. Done. Publish a video, just me in front of the camera, right? 3 tips in 3 minutes. Done. Give my signature talk to at least one other group a month. Be a guest blogger or a guest speaker or a guest interview in front of someone else's community at least once a month. So I hope you're seeing the idea here. And again, you'll be able to see this handout. But these are a couple of things, right? I'm just being intentional, and I'm also growing into them. I could tell you that I started out by just doing a blog post once a week. Then over the year, I did that good and consistent, and then I added, let me do a video too, 3 tips in 3 minutes. Then I add, okay, let me actually start interviewing people and create a podcast. These things don't happen overnight. You just start getting good and consistent at what feels comfortable. So that's what I'm going to ask you to do. You've got your 3 core marketing strategies, right? So in this example, again, what were they? What the 3 buckets made sense to me were live networking, online social networking, and increasing my expert status. And then you're just going to be intentional. You're just going to ask, okay, how can I get to know more people, increase my visibility? How can I build more relationships with them? How can I start building referral networks? You take time, but be intentional. How can I point my ideal clients to solutions I have, my no-obligation invitations, like a webinar or something? There's some way that folks can sample what you've got to offer regardless of your business. There's some way. So we start that dating relationship. How can I strengthen and love on my current clients? These are the questions you're asking yourself as you are building your marketing strategy. So that's what it's about, marketing simplified. Sorry, you can't see some of my slide over here. It's about picking strategies that feel right to you. It's about consistently working your plan. So say no more to this hit or miss marketing. It's getting us nowhere. Create your plan, work your plan, grow into your plan. Your plan will evolve and strengthen. You'll keep maximizing your 3 strategies. Okay? You'll figure out what's working, what's not. Keep doing more of what's working. But again, the key is that it feels natural and authentic to you. So with that said, I know I got 2:33. So go ahead, and if there's any specific questions you've got in the chat function, go ahead and enter them there. Again, I will be sending out the recording. I will be sending out a Word document of the example of the marketing plan so you can actually see it. And I am going to ask that you watch the webinar again in a couple of those places that you pause, because please make a commitment that you're just not going to watch this, that you're actually going to do something with it, meaning flush through your ideal client character a bit more. Flush through how you can hold the hand of your very next ideal client that you don't know yet, how you can hold their hand and walk them through your sales and marketing funnel, where they hear about you, you develop a relationship, you get permission to stay in touch, and they ultimately become a client of yours. So please make a commitment. Make a commitment, again, to listen to those strategies as I was sharing them, and for you just to hear, okay, which ones are resonating with you? And just focus there. Get good and consistent. That is the winning strategy, okay? Not what everyone else is doing, what feels right for you. All right, ladies. Well, thank you for your kind words over there in the chat function. And I'm sorry that I went 3 minutes over. What I'm going to do, though, when you do get the recording, when I email out, if there's any questions you thought of in the meantime, please feel free to email back. Email back, and I'd love to respond to your questions. All right, ladies. Thank you so much for calling in. Thank you so much. And, again, thanks for bearing with us in our unique technical glitches, but we did good. So thank you, ladies. You guys have a good day, and I'll talk with you soon. Cheering you on. Bye.